How can a teacher help her student beat selective mutism? I'm going to present to you very briefly a teacher's behavioral treatment plan. This is a behavioral treatment schedule in many ways similar to that can be implemented by therapists. And it can be built for the teacher to use in school or in kindergarten. The aim would be to build on whatever communication the child is initially able to employ with the teacher and take small, controlled steps towards speech. It may be helpful to start with a couple of home visits. Perhaps the child will speak in your presence or even to you at their home. Even if he doesn't, it will show your interest in him and slightly blur the boundaries between home and school. Now, the school sessions or the kindergarten sessions should be planned together with a therapist if there is one currently working with the child, and for sure in any case with the parents. To this end, it's important to hold regular sessions with the child, perhaps a few times a week, which is a daunting task for a teacher of a large and lively class, but a key to steady progress. So the first step would be to build a reciprocal, communicative, pleasant relationship with a child. In the framework of this relationship, you could gradually walk towards broader non-verbal communication, such as pointing, gestures for like and dislike, and so on, and nodding the child's head. Then you could try to utilize recordings, using a small office tape recorder, or WhatsApps, or your cell phone. You could ask a few easy questions like, what's your favorite color, or how many siblings do you have? And then ask the child to record the answer at home and play it to you in your next session. Or it may be easier for the child to record himself reading at home and send it to you every evening by WhatsApp, which you'll hear together the following day in school. That depends, of course, on the age of the child. Once the child is playing recordings of himself reading to the teacher comfortably in school, the teacher may ask the child to read one of the sentences that she's just heard on the tape. When listening at school to recordings made at home, it's vital that it initially takes place in a private room so that the child won't be heard by all his classmates to begin with. If this is successfully done over a few sessions, the place at which the teacher hears the recordings could be changed to a more public area, perhaps a corridor, and eventually it could be heard next to the teacher's desk in the class. This should be done with great sensitivity, ensuring that each change is neither too early nor too anxiety-provoking for the child. The rule of slow but sure progress will allow each step to be within the child's bearable anxiety zone. This is the beginning of a teacher's intervention plan, which many teachers have managed, often with the guidance of a therapist, to implement and help their student talk in school or kindergarten. Obviously, this is just a little introduction to it, but you get the general idea. To see how this can be continued and be really developed so that it starts with sessions a few times a week with non-verbal communication, it moves up to direct speech with a teacher, click on this link to my website, my blog, for an example of a complete teacher's intervention that really happened, in which the 5-year-old Liz gradually moved up the ladder of exposure and talked to Mrs. Clark, her teacher, in kindergarten.